Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yes Have Some podcast. I'm already distracted. Abby, hold on. Hold that cup back up. Look at that. Middle of Beyond, Ghostbusters coffee mug. What? It's like a vintage style coffee mug, right? Like, what do you
Yeah,
call
it's
that?
like a foggy glass type of old, almost like 70s, but oversized. I have two glasses like this that I drink tea out of. This one is brand new, and if I turn it around, you can see if I don't spill the coffee everywhere. They've got the nice little slogan on the back.
Our courteous and efficient staff. That's so funny. Shout out to Middle of Beyond.
Yeah.
We've kind of gotten linked up with them over the last couple, or about the last year. And Jacob, I know you don't have some of your stuff in hand yet, but man, they sent us some Ghostbusters merch, some Godzilla merch. Very kind and generous. I can't wait to start showing some of that stuff off.
I'm excited to get it.
Yeah, I'm
Abby-
actually wearing the plaid I'm wearing is part of the Godzilla collection.
Oh, you got the Godzilla one on?
Yeah, for anyone who can see stuff, this is like it's just a cool plaid overshirt with varying shades of green and little bits of red. You know how
Mhm.
plaid works.
Yeah.
It's got it's got a cute little Godzilla.
I should grab my banner. I'll do it in a second because it's important.
Okay.
But let me go ahead and introduce everybody. This is Yes Have Some podcast. It's a big week. Whether you're watching this before or after the YHS holiday streamathon is happening, it's here. Huge event. I think it's gotten a little bit bigger than I was. It started off with, hey, we should do a charity stream, and now it's like Ray Parker Jr. is going to be there, so we better step it up. Jacob, are you excited about this event?
Oh yes, of course I am. It's gonna be fun. I'm already trying to get a meal plan together when I'm gonna be able to break away, get a chair figured out so I can be comfortable. I got to figure out a wardrobe. Am I gonna just wear the same thing for 6 hours? What I don't know.
Wardrobe
I've got
change.
questions. We got to figure out if there's costume changes, when the breaks are, when the snack breaks are as well.
Here's the problem though, Abby.
What?
I don't think there's breaks included. I think
the people are going to have to give us some super chats for watching us eat our dinner on
There's
the
no
stream.
I've already turned super chats off.
I think
Why
it's going
just
to be
mukbang?
Ew, that's gross. I think it's going to have to be the kind of thing where one of us is like, all right, I'll be back in 2 minutes, and you shut your camera off and go eat really quickly and then come back. Yeah.
Hold on.
Double.
You guys are funny. We're acting as if we're on Survivor. And like what's the chat?
It's the same thing. I'm gonna be on the floor.
I've watched a lot of Survivor. This is identical.
Oh.
This is worse than Survivor. I've watched a lot of Survivor, and this is it's going to be even harder.
What's your podcast luxury item, Jacob?
You don't. I mean, you don't. They don't give you that anymore. But I
haven't watched in a while.
No, you don't get luxury items on.
But
Survivor
if you
anymore.
had to, if you could pick one thing for podcasting specifically.
Oh, sure. For podcast? Well, it would just be it would probably be my book with that I can take notes and stuff in if that was the only thing I had.
Yeah.
Anything electronic's going to die. So.
Yeah.
Well, we are raising money for Starlight Children's Foundation. But it sounds like if there's any money left over, maybe we can get a little snack or something.
Because we're allowed to.
I don't think you can say that.
Money left over from what? We're just raising.
Do you think that money's going to you?
There's money. Like you. Well, we have a limit, and once you hit that, then there's some leftover, and we can all eat some noodles. No,
Craig, how many hot dogs have you had today?
I have not had one. Honestly, I have not had a hot dog in a very long time. Okay. It's something I think about a lot. I think about hot dogs more than I ever eat them.
Okay.
We have Morningstar veggie corn dogs in the freezer, and I've had a few of those. Those are excellent.
I did see a Heinz ketchup commercial from like 1985 last night with Matt LeBlanc from Friends.
Okay.
We got onto a run of you know what? Maybe some of my seasonal depression that I was telling you guys about offline is coming from.
It's because you haven't had enough hot dogs
or ketchup.
I've got plenty of ketchup. These nostalgia videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sometimes they put me in a really good headspace, and sometimes they make me really sad.
Okay.
Like, what is weird?
Well, it brings everything up. Like watching, at least for me, I'm sorry to interrupt you. When we're watching a loop of commercials like that, it's like trapped and blocked memories just starts to like sort of surface in ways that like it's almost like for me at least the sense of smell like will bring back memories like
Sure.
extremely well. So like watching something like that, it's almost like a I'm getting everything, like eat the good, the bad,
Right.
painful. So yeah, I understand.
Yeah, it's just our childhood was a very different time, and maybe that's part of what kind of dawns on me when we watch these old commercials and stuff. Or like we were watching old news reports like from 1981, and they were talking about how like video games were the wave of the future, and they're interviewing like the store managers of all these toy stores that like, don't exist anymore, and that made me sad. And then the store manager, he's like,
No, the store manager made you happy. Talk about that.
what did he say? He said something funny. I can't remember. He had one line where he's just like,
He was
uh,
talking about how like they back in the day, families were
"Oh
lucky to
yeah,
have one
yeah,
game.
yeah."
Kids
He's
these
like,
days,
he had like a Boston accent. It's for like 1981, like bald guy with like he kind of had a Homer Simpson thing going on, and he was just like talking about how Atari was like the big seller for the year, and he was like, "Yeah, back when I was a kid, our parents they'd get us, we'd get one game." Yeah, we get like a nice game for the family, and then nowadays it's just the games on the television set. It's like, oh my god, this
nowadays
guy.
everyone's gathered around the television set.
But I think I got
Um,
sad because I was like, because when you're in a depressed state of mind, I was smiling, but in my head I was like, I bet this guy passed away. He's not alive anymore. Like that's where my head goes. I was like, because
That's the
it's like
kind of stuff that see. I
50
have a
years old.
I have a completely. I don't get sad when I watch any of that stuff, and that
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of yeah, I'm kind of taken aback a little bit listening to you talk about how they make you sad. I'm like, why is that what you're thinking about? Like,
Well, isn't that the $1 million question? Why am I thinking
Mhm.
about the mortality of the store manager of Toys
but
R
it's
Us?
like, but even I don't know. Death is a weird thing, but it's like even though some of those people are probably dead, I don't know why that would make you like you don't know them, and death comes to all of us, and I don't know. Just
Do
like
I need to call my therapist to like get in on this
yeah,
conversation?
this is weird. It's
Maybe.
bumming. It's now it's making me sad
Now I'm
knowing that
fucking oh,
you
see,
watch
yeah,
those
we're ready to
videos
go.
and it makes you sad.
It's not okay. Let me reframe it. It doesn't make me sad.
Pull them up. We're gonna. I want to make you watch it right now.
Pull them up.
Pull it up. It's like
Pull them up,
pull,
dog.
pull 'em
you
up,
don't have
pull
you
'em
don't
up.
We were
have to.
watching them last night.
Here's the thing. It is that thing where like because we're all this is by the way, we're recording at night, which we normally don't do. This is about to be some classic YHS. So everybody strap in. Um we are toy collectors and we are driven by nostalgia. And that is not everybody is like that. Not everybody in our age bracket is like that. And like there's a specific kind of like recipe that affects a human being to where nostalgia is like this very powerful uh you know I don't even it can be medicinal, but to me it can also have like this other effect of going, holy shit, I'm 42 years old and
Yeah.
I'm looking at these commercials from this happy time in my life when I was 6 and that was so long ago. It's almost like it's not sad's not the right word, but it's a little bit of like an existential
Mhm.
thing.
I get
Yeah,
Okay.
it.
I
I
was
get it.
literally talking to my therapist about this. You have to make space for everything, like the good, the bad, the painful. You wouldn't have the highlights if you didn't have the lowlights behind them. So life
Oh,
is kind of all of it at once. Everything, everywhere,
all at
all at
once.
once.
Also, the Deadlights tonight is the season finale of It. Welcome to Derry, and we have not talked about that at all on this show. I know you guys aren't really watching it,
We should have
right?
kept up, maybe.
How far did you guys get? 2 episodes, 3 episodes,
We
something
stopped at
like
the
that?
cabin. We
Okay,
all
so that
watched
was
2
episode one and
episodes.
two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, let's talk about it just for a second because I've been watching it and we'll finish it tonight.
Okay.
It's
Mhm.
awful. I just want to say it's awful. Like
Yeah.
as
Okay.
it is very popular, people are really liking it. As someone who's a fan of the book, it's awful. It goes against so many things that the book puts forth. A lot of the lore set forth in the book does not matter here, or is like completely. Uh, the story goes in the complete opposite direction, and it's a weird adaptation It first of all, adapts nothing from the book so far except for the black spot, but it
Okay.
does so in a lukewarm fashion. The black spot was done halfway through the episode. You're past it.
Mhm.
It's changed greatly from what is in the book. It's kind of the black spot, you know, surface level I mean, it's made for TV. It feels like the
Sure.
made for TV version of the black spot. Um, there are a few things I like. Some of the Pennywise stuff is really good. Like, Bill Skarsgård's great. It's Pennywise, so some of that stuff is really fun to watch. And there's been a few sequences here and there. You guys remember? I think this was in the second episode that we watched at the cabin. Was that one episode had the one girl's dad in the pickle jars?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was also the scene where the bed turned into her mom and like
Mhm.
tried to like pull her into those two
Yeah.
sequences. Those two sequences were in the same episode and they were in episode 2. There's been nothing as cool as that stuff throughout the
Wow.
rest of the show. I don't know, dude. I've been left so bummed because it's like, the whole point of the Losers Club in the movie has been kind of destroyed. We've taken that out. There's so many people in the show who like know who Pennywise is and they know about his cycles, and the government is trying to catch him, and he's trapped in Derry because the Native Americans trapped him there with magic pillars, and they're trying it is the dumbest shit
It's
they
a
could have
lot. That seems like a lot.
done. It is.
Wow. Um,
Yeah, that seems to overcomplicate the core of the book, which is like we've got this evil guy that is kind of like an ancient one and beyond comprehension, and knowing more about him makes him less interesting.
Right.
Much
We've
like
they've
the Whispers in the Forest and on
e
Lost.
exactly. We've given him a backstory. We've given Bob Gray a backstory, and there's like a female Pennywise walking around helping him and trying to lure him out.
You're
And
doing Art the Clown shit. What the
it's
hell?
so weird. It is
Yeah.
so
well, it's
fucking
like,
weird.
remember when Dan Aykroyd would always try to talk about his prequel idea where the Ghostbusters are in high school and it's like Egon and Ray and Peter when they first met? Like, nobody want like that. That
Sure, nobody wants that.
nobody
I don't
wants
know.
that.
I don't know. Like, the show seems to be doing well. I can only imagine it's like, you know, mainly people who hadn't read the book and or maybe
Yeah.
don't care that it doesn't follow the book. Maybe those people like it, and that's completely fine. But like, the whole point of the book is that the Losers Club are the first people in the history that are able to hurt Pennywise, and they're only able to do it because there's something special about that group of people, and that's
Mhm.
largely what the book is about. But the show is like, oh, there's lots of Losers Clubs. There's
Right.
been many, and here's another group of
Franchises
kids.
across the world.
Exactly. Here's another group of kids, and then here is another group of kids that survived, and there's like multiple generations of people who all are trying to defeat. And I'm like, no,
Oh,
get
well, you
that
know what that
shit out.
means.
Get that out of here.
At some point, they'll go into the future and they'll have like a Losers Club Avengers.
Losers
They're gonna
Club in space.
wait. They're gonna figure out how to bring like alternate dimension Losers Clubs in, so they
Yep.
can so
Yeah.
at the end they can defeat
It'll be
Pennywise.
like, whoa, this is crazy. In this universe, Beverly Marsh and Richie are played by John Krasinski and whatever his wife, Emily
Wow.
Blunt. Is that his wife?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think
Can't
so.
wait
I
for
think
that.
I think I read a spoiler for tonight's episode, so I'll be interesting. On accident, but obviously
Okay.
I wasn't searching "Welcome to Derry" spoilers.
Well,
Um,
I have been watching them as soon as they drop 9 o'clock. I'm watching it. I want to see what they're doing and what
okay,
kind of weird shit they're doing. The black spot was immensely disappointing. I have been singing the praises of the black spot chapter of it for a very long since I read the book. It's always been something I'm
sure.
like, whoa, it's really crazy. It's really this really cool thing happens. It's really striking, and oh, they're gonna put it in the show, and then they do it in the show, and it's like, oh, it's nothing. Now I feel like a fool for all telling all those people how cool the black spot was, and then the episode sucked.
Yeah.
You know,
People around
like
town are pointing at Jacob's house,
they
going,
talk
"There
about
he is. There's the black spot guy."
Mr. Black Spot over there talking about how great it is. I didn't see a fucking bird, shit like that.
Yeah.
Abby, why do you think it's so hard? Maybe not even maybe that's not the right question. Why is it for a creator like Andy Muschietti and the people working on the show, like why do they have to stretch out the source material into this other version when there's so much there in the book um to kind of like generate, I guess not generate, basically take the text that's there and adapt it properly?
I mean, I imagine it has to do with like feedback from like viewers, too many cooks in the kitchen. Like maybe they have the fact or the statistic that having Pennywise, like the more that they show, what's the name of the actor? I'm forgetting right now. Skarsgård.
Bill,
Bill
Like
Skarsgård.
like when Bill Skarsgård is on screen as Pennywise, that equals dollar signs. Therefore, we need to take him and let him lead this show, and it doesn't maybe matter as much, or maybe there's
but
there's no like purity to like the storytelling. It seems like they're just trying to mine more and more and more out of an area that maybe doesn't actually have anything to give, and they're not exploring in the areas that have things to give, like the real story. Which I haven't watched it, Craig, so I can't
yeah,
speak to
well,
everything.
Right, sure.
Abby, like Bill Skarsgård doesn't. Pennywise doesn't show up until episode 5, and it's like the end of episode 5, and I was kind of surprised they even did that, because that's kind of how it is in the book. Pennywise is in the book, sure, but he's not in the book that much. If you collect it all, it's like Jaws. He's not actually, the clown isn't there a ton. Penny, it is there all the time, but the clown himself, there isn't a lot of it. The thing that is a big question mark for me is like Andy and Barbara made the films, and the movies are pretty fairly accurately adapting the book, so it makes me wonder why there's such a turnaround and a flip when it got to the show. It's the same group of people making it. Why is this? Why did they they're going against stuff they put forward in their own movies?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that?
I wonder if it's just tempting as a creator. Like, obviously, there's a passion for Stephen King's work, and maybe it's just getting to play in that sandbox and have the ability to kind of add your own spin, and knowing that Stephen King as a creator really is pretty receptive. Like,
yeah,
besides The Shining, he basically is just gonna praise everything ever.
Yeah.
Because I think Stephen King's always kind of carried this, and this is probably a healthy way to do it. Is like, I wrote my book, I wrote my story, they're adapting it. It's not going to affect,
sure,
the book of it, or even the movies. Like, you can watch those 2 movies, and that's your complete story of Stephen King's It, and you don't have to watch Welcome to Derry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, Abby. Maybe we'll. I'm kind of now. I'm a little bit more intrigued to go back and
you
watch
should
some
check
of it.
I mean, you should check it. Like, there's some good in there. Like, there is some good. Like, Bill Skarsgård is doing crazy shit, and like the Pennywise that you get in the show, I think is a little more unhinged than he is in the movies. It's just that none of it follows the book at all in any kind of way. So that's the only issue for me.
Gotcha. And then to kind of jump off of last week's conversation, I know we broke down our visit out to the Vista Theater and seeing Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair. Definitely been on a little bit of a Tarantino kick since then. I mean, always am. But Abby, we sat down and rewatched Jackie Brown this week, which was it was only my second time ever seeing that movie, and Abby, I don't know, it's whew.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I woke up listening to the soundtrack like this morning. Literally started my day with it. It's an incredible movie. I think it's a little bit underappreciated. I love Robert De Niro. And yeah, it's a really fantastic watch.
Jake, you said you haven't watched it in a while, right?
I mean, I've probably only seen it twice. It's always been my least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, but it's been so long. I probably should sit down and watch it and give it
Fresh
some
eyes.
attention. Yeah, because I couldn't even tell you right now. I couldn't even tell you what happens in it. Yeah, I've seen it so little.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
don't even remember anything about it.
Well,
Well,
having watched
go for it, Eb.
having watched it recently, like my take was that it's such a great story of a woman that's like getting her like taking care of her own shit and like pulling one over on everyone else. And I think it's for me, that's why I like watching it,
Hmm.
is like her strength and composure and like attraction like throughout the movie is magnetic. And there's like really sweet like love story moments between her and Max Cherry, the bondsman. I already said I like Robert De Niro. I love that he's like fresh out of jail. I love the surfer girl. She's like me
Bridget
in
Fonda.
yeah, Melanie. She's
Yeah, she's
fantastic.
great.
So yeah, I love that character. Just wants to watch TV and smoke weed and go surfing. So yeah, I was watching it and enjoying the hell out of it.
Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, I never think of him as like Tarantino's muse or anything like that. Uh, but man, his performance, like I like Samuel L. Jackson in all of his movies. Basically, anything
Hmm.
I've seen, I've always liked him. But his Tarantino performances are on a completely different level. And specifically in Jackie Brown, I mean, I laugh every word that comes out of his mouth. I'm just laughing, and the delivery. And I went back and I read Roger Ebert's review of Jackie Brown today, and he made a really good. I was going to try to claim this as my own observation, but I couldn't do that to Roger Ebert. I just couldn't do it.
We
Um,
wouldn't know.
you wouldn't have known, but maybe somebody in the chat or the comments would have.
Sure.
But he makes an observation that every character in Jackie Brown is smart. There's no
Hmm.
like idiot really, and it's basically who's going to be able to like as the scheme kind of unfolds. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but it's like who's going to be able to outsmart the rest of the group in time, before you end up, dead or whatever.
Hmm.
So very interesting stuff. I will say, I think my favorite character is Max Cherry, which is Robert Forster, which the last time I watched it, I was taken aback by him too. Jacob, he's in the movie Alligator.
Yeah. He's the main actor in that film, Alligator, and I'm sure that's why Quentin Tarantino hired him. I'm
Right,
sure he
right.
loves that movie. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, really, really good stuff. So, and then we were watching some of Hateful Eight last night. Jacob, when you watch
Mhm.
Hateful Eight, do you do the extended like 4-part edition, or
Yeah,
do you?
usually ever since that came out, that's usually what I do. I want to see as much of it I want to see all the extra stuff, so that's usually what I watch.
I'm glad that when that movie came out, like Walton Goggins is probably my top 2 or 3 actors ever at this point, and I wasn't that familiar with him when Hateful Eight came out. And I remember seeing it and being like, man, who is this guy? He's like on another, like sometimes it feels like he's in his own little movie.
Yeah.
Uh and now watching it, it's almost distracting because I'm just smiling and I'm just like, I love. He's like, Bob, I'll be a double dog. And he's just when he's freaking out over Bruce Dern, because
Yeah.
that whole thing. I mean, God. So yeah, really, really fun. Man, I don't want Tarantino to stop making movies, and at this point I don't even know if he's going to make that last one, but we'll see.
I'm sure he'll do something.
We said he was working on a play,
Yeah.
something, but
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't.
Because he
Yeah,
did Fortnite.
What's next? It
I
like
wish he was an available skin in Fortnite. I'd get the
just be Tarantino.
mhm.
I'm waiting for him to show up in Animal Crossing, you know?
Yeah,
Quentin
that's
Tarantino's
like his
movie
kind of
night.
space.
Once a month he shows up and does a little
Yeah.
screening of a movie on your island.
Yeah, and like the rest of the time he's just wandering around
Yeah.
quietly, like looking at things on your island.
Well, because I forgot I've got those Hateful Eight action figures that Abby had gotten me. This had to be 7-8 years ago at this point. And I was looking at them last night. They're not in my toy room. They're kind of on a different display in the living room. And I forgot there's a Tarantino figure, which
Mhm.
is awesome. So I might need to find a better way to light those and display those because those are really cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, anything else on current media that we've taken in this week? Any other
Well,
recommendations?
yeah, we watched last night. We watched Wake Up Dead Man.
A Knives Out
You guys watching
story.
those? Yeah.
I never saw the second one.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, the third one's out, and it's pretty good.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those movies are. I think those movies are all good. Um, I would say the third one is probably the best one so far. It's a little more. It's a little less of a comedy.
Okay.
It's a little more. It's still silly. It's still got that silliness to it, but
Yeah.
it's a little more serious.
Okay.
It's a little darker. It's a little more like a classic.
Who done it?
Yeah, but it's good. I think those movies are really good.
Yeah, maybe we'll catch up and watch.
Yeah, I'd like to.
What was the second one called out or called?
Not Glass
Onion?
Onion,
Glass Onion. Yeah, I never saw Glass. Oh, well,
which
that'd be a
was
good-
which was also pretty good.
Yeah, let's do that because those are good.
Yeah, I'd
And,
like to watch some new things.
Yeah.
Ooh, I would like to watch a murder mystery movie tonight. That sounds fun. Let's
Well,
watch
there you
Glass
go.
Onion.
That's what those are. So you're good.
So I know one of the things we're gonna tackle tonight is this stuff that's been going on in the media the last couple of months, which is this acquisition of Warner Brothers by Netflix and how Paramount plays into it and all that. And I want to get into the nitty gritty of that. And I think in general, the conversation that is happening around movies and media right now it's a very interesting time. And one of the things that is, we've been doing these trailer reactions and I've been more in tune lately on like which trailers are coming out, when they're going to be released. And there's all these rumors about Avengers. I will say this, I had forgotten that Avengers Doomsday was pushed from July to December. So it doesn't come out for a year.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to kind of get both your takes on this. So the very, very I would call it not even a rumor at this point. It's basically being reported that what is happening is that there is going to be 4 character specific teaser trailers released this week for Doomsday. No.
Oh, this is legit. This is
It's
not rumor
legit.
anymore. Okay.
But it's
A
they're
year
gonna
before the movie comes out.
So basically they're like teaser trailers. They're not going to be online. You have to go see. They're going to release one a week for 4 weeks.
Okay.
So they're going to leak. If you wanted to
Right.
see them the right way, you'd have to go see Avatar 4 times.
You can see Avatar 4 times. So James Cameron, it's his fault. He's the one who thought up of the. How do I get people to go see my movie 4 times?
Abby, I want to start with you. Just in general, we've covered the MCU a lot on YHS. Do you have any what is your anticipation level for Doomsday, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, the return of the Avengers, the Russos are back? And I know we probably won't go see we will not go see Avatar 3 in theaters, likely.
It would be nice to, yeah.
Do you want? I mean, we haven't seen the second one. It's like a Glass Onion situation. I would go. I don't think I'm as anti-Avatar as some people, but
Who?
Abby, what?
Who? Just say it.
I'm not saying you.
I'm right here.
Hey, I don't know anybody.
I like the world at Disney. Like that shit's cool.
I just don't know. I don't know about these Avatar movies, but Abby, MCU, Avengers, what? It feels like it was a really important piece of our movie going life at one point. It feels like its time has passed a little bit.
Yeah, that's a record that hasn't been spinning for a while. In my player, I would say it's been quite some time since I cared. James Gunn was the one director that really brought in characters and storytelling that I did care about with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Volume 2 and 3 also were like my other favorites. So when it comes to Avengers and where things kind of were left off with Endgame and moving forward, I'm not that I'm really not that enthused. I would like to be kind of like a cool distance from it to where if it if the movie surprises me in a really delightful way, I could be taken aback by it. But there is like no expectation level that I have right now because I feel like my expectations will be like missed. Because that's how recent films from Marvel have felt for me. I liked Thunderbolts. All right, I thought that was pretty good, but I just think that with the track record, how long it's been, like how many things we've seen, yeah, I'm not that excited to be honest. We'll see how it is. I'd love for it to wow me.
Yeah, Jacob, how about yourself?
Well, very similar to what Abby said. I'm kind of over it. Like, there was a really good run that happened, and after Endgame, the movies and the shows started to take a huge dip in content and quality, and it became like not as fun anymore. And there's all kinds of reasons why, but then on top of that, like I love watching movies, and I watch a lot of movies, and I spend a lot of time like on Letterboxd and looking through old films and content, and like making a watch list. And I in my recent months, years, I am trying to, I'm just more focused on catching up on films that I haven't seen, or older
Mhm.
films, or films that might have like a little more substance and acclaim to them. Not even just acclaim, but just substance, things that are going to make me feel like real emotions, or
Mhm.
things that are exciting. Just like different. I'm a different kind of movie. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not.
yeah.
I'm just not spending a lot of time caring about superhero movies
Yeah.
recently, and that's part of the reason.
Well,
That's part of the reason I'm probably extra feel that I probably seem like I'm extra down on like Supergirl or Superman or whatever. It's just like that stuff. That's like having cookies. You know what I mean? And
I
I
was
want to.
gonna bring up a food
Where
example,
you
Jacob.
do it. Sorry.
You've been having such a nutritious and protein filled diet that's so balanced
Yeah.
that essentially it's the same thing with movies as it is with food. You get out what you put in.
Yeah.
So if you keep watching quality movies, then you're going to have better output and more thoughts, experiences, and like
Yeah.
perspective on life and creativity in general.
Exactly.
So I love that. I'm personally inspired by what you're saying. I've had my letterbox list sit for a long time now and I haven't dipped in. So maybe that's going to be like a New Year's resolution
Yeah.
for
That'd
me.
be cool.
I have a
Yeah,
ton of films on there that I
I,
haven't seen.
Abby, I think you'd. I would really. I know you guys when we were in LA with Lawrence and Amanda, and I was telling
Yeah.
them how I look forward to their
To
reviews,
her reviews. Yeah.
because they review their often. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Abby, you would be great at that. Like, I would love to
I am
hop on
ready.
and like read your reviews for anything. And but that's not all to say that like I can't enjoy superhero movies
No,
anymore,
but
or I don't like it. I just like they're just not great anymore, or they haven't. That's
to
probably not fair
me,
to say, but
no, but hold on. You're both saying really great things, and I think it's important um, to kind of expand on it from all of our different perspectives. First of
mhm,
all, I don't necessarily think it's fair. Uh, we bucket these things, superhero movies, right? Like it is what it is. To me, the Batman or Penguin on HBO
sure,
feels completely different than Superman. Uh, in that same take, Peacemaker feels completely different than Superman. In fact, I enjoy season 1 and 2 of Peacemaker more than a lot of what I've seen from the superhero genre over the last 5 or 10 years. My issue with Marvel, and I haven't really thought about how I want to articulate this, but maybe you guys can meet me where I'm at and we can, you know, see see if this makes sense. The MCU had a seemingly earnest and authentic rollout for a very long time. Doesn't
mhm,
mean it was always perfect. It doesn't mean that starting with Iron Man that they had like a 20-year plan that they just stuck to or anything like that. But it felt like there was like a genuine momentum
sure. They were making the right choices
making the right
more
choice.
than they were making the wrong choices.
Yeah.
So, and then you get the introduction to all these, key key heroes.
Mm-hmm.
uh Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and then you get your first Avengers movie, and so like you have this like increase in quality and storytelling with also like really interesting filmmakers that they brought in, like James Gunn or like Ryan Coogler.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, like, again, not always perfect, but really once you had that rollout of like Thor Ragnarok and Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, it just felt, and all, you know, the Spider-Man movies, it was like, man, this is a really well crafted, well executed plan. And then they start having the dip. There's the Disney Plus of it all, and you know, maybe a couple movies that didn't work quite as well. And what we're facing now with this brand new Avengers movie and the follow up, it feels like very like, of course this is what it was going to be. As soon as it took a dip in quality and fan response and box office, well, we're going to bring the Russos back,
Yeah.
and Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, but he's playing a different character. And the worst kept secret of the world is Chris Evans as Captain America is back, and he's, the rumor is that the plot revolves around him. So like, I am excited about,
so much.
yeah, I'm excited, but it feels like this. It's a very pro wrestling thing where like wrestling's really good until it's not, and
Yeah.
how, and their answer is let's just do what we did
Well,
before, and
it's
it almost
because
never works.
it's because when they made the first Iron Man, however, how long ago was that at this point? Like whatever, 20
2008,
years ago.
yeah,
Okay, Jesus Christ. So when they made the first Iron Man, they weren't making that movie because they were like, this is going to be a blockbuster. Like
No,
nobody knew who Iron
it
Man
was
was or
successful.
cared, and it was like a small thing, and they were, you know, like it was being made more out of like, hey, this will be fun. Let's do this. And then they did it, and it, you know, it blew up and became what it
Yep.
is. And now, well, you know, Avengers, whatever this movie, Doomsday or whatever, it's not being made because they're like, oh, you know, this will be fun. Let's introduce people to it. No, it's like, how do we get Marvel back on top and make a lot more money? It's
yeah,
there's different
It rem-
motivations behind it.
it reminds me of like a celebrity chef or like a talented chef, even like opening up a burger restaurant, because it's like, oh well, I'm going to take something that's simple, but I'm going to elevate it and make it really really good, which is kind of like when you take a good director or a director that's got chops or has like a style and aesthetic that comes in, like James Gunn, and does a special version of what is traditionally just like a hamburger, you know, something
Yeah.
that's like, oh, it's a
right,
superhero movie, it's not nothing important. um but what happens, and I've worked at a restaurant like this, I won't actually say which one, but there was a celebrity chef and it was a burger restaurant, where it's like when you start franchising those out and you start opening up all over town and having different people that are running them, and I've said this before, it's like the quality just completely dips and the spirit is lost, and it's no longer just like one person who's like bound and determined with something that they want to share, and it's more like
yeah,
we just have to keep replicating doing the formula, and it's like just no, there's no originality at that point. It's like we know we have to show these certain actors and we've got to have a superhero drop with a funny joke at the end of the trailer. Like everyone is fatigued, at least I am, by
Yeah.
all that.
yeah. No, that's you make great points there,
Well,
and that's the one thing I've always said was I was always surprised that Marvel didn't enlist more interesting, unique, you know, visionary type filmmakers to put their own spin on things. It's almost like James Gunn was the outlier, but it became very controlled again. Um, but yeah,
yeah, and
mhm,
then
They made him a template.
yeah, and then James Gunn went over to DC, and a lot of people really loved Superman, and a lot of people are really liking what they're doing with you know, Peacemaker and whatever the plans might be. It's still really early days, but if this acquisition happens, and if Netflix gets WB, then hey, get ready for DC to be exactly like Marvel, where they're gonna spit out 50 TV shows that are
Mhm.
varying qualities and nobody gives a fuck about, and tons of things that people are gonna have to like as they go for. Like DC's trying to get all their stuff together and get a new like a new ship righted, and like
Right.
just as they're beginning to do that, this acquisition is going to happen, and then they're going to be flooded with crap.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this. So, like, I kind of want to talk about this. I've got a bunch of notes, and the look Abby just gave me.
You
Abby, do you
do?
want? I
Yeah,
made
because we know what Craig
We
means by
don't.
a bunch. Hey, one more before we get off of this, I want to say one more
Yeah.
thing because I think it's funny. But Craig,
Yeah.
talking
Say
about
it.
like the superhero fatigue and the movies not doing as well. Here's another thing that kind of took me off of superhero movies. The three of us were sitting together at a theater in California watching Fantastic Four, a movie that, like, by all accounts they were really hoping is going to like pull things back together. And at one
Mhm.
point, Craig, you looked dead in my eyes in the middle of this film and you said, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And I
I've
did.
talked about it. I've written about it.
Yeah.
Where I remember leaving the theater. Like I said I left the theater postpartum with
Yeah.
depression.
Dude, that shit's been on.
It gave
Well,
us
so
postpartum depression.
before we talk about the Warner Brothers stuff, by the way, Abby, I forwarded you my notes if you want to
Oh,
get
you're
eyes on 'em.
proving to me that you've made notes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen,
Chat GBT just sent you these notes.
how do you
Yeah,
guys
it's
think people
100%
get
AI.
notes? Do you guys think that anybody does anything anymore?
You didn't write any of this shit.
I wrote all of it.
Podcast talking points.
Okay,
Oh
but
my-
seriously, I you guys all made good points, and I think this has to do with the substance of the films, where when you watch a great movie and then you think about the director and the writer and the casting and the decisions that they made. And listen, we know that what they're about to do in the MCU is not what the plan was. We know what they announced the plan. The plan was Jonathan Majors and the Kang dynasty.
Yeah.
The plan changed in rapid succession. We ended up with a new plan. Doesn't mean the new plan's not going to be good, but like that sweet little cookie you were talking about earlier, it can crumble real easily if you just
Yeah.
touch it.
Leave it out too
So-
long and it gets stale.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm not leaving Fantastic Four on Blu-ray out for Santa this year. He won't even want it. He'll be like, I fucking hate this thing. But
I like the idea of dipping a DVD in milk, though.
yeah,
sounds fun.
that actually sounds fun.
That sounds fun.
Please don't do that.
Please don't.
I feel like Cookie Monster, like saying it, because that's what I'm thinking of.
But I think, listen, I will be excited. I think Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
coming
see it.
back, it's going to be intriguing, and it doesn't mean they're not going to make a great movie. But I don't feel like even with Thunderbolts, I liked a lot, but I don't think his Thunderbolts is like one of the great film experiences. It's just a fun movie with fun performances. But I see people on Twitter or X or whatever like, "There's a leaked image of Bucky from the new Avengers." Who fucking cares? It's
Who
There's
cares?
a whole.
He's
Go to
been in
Disney
every Marvel movie for the past 10 years.
The Winter Soldier is so bad. Like he's back. He's been back, y'all. He's been back. There's a whole show about him on Disney Plus.
There's a whole movie where he's Tommy Lee. It's great.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Fucking love that. Yeah.
Maybe he'll play Youngblood next. If they do the
He
Youngblood.
could. I mean, I think he
Right.
might be aged out, but he could
All right,
definitely do that.
So let's talk about the one thing that people have always said YHS knew a lot about was mergers and acquisitions. I feel like that's been like the big thing.
Yeah, it's what we do.
So
That's what all my notes are about.
I feel like most people probably have like a general sense of what's going on, but essentially, Warner Brothers this year made it their business to like, we want to sell, we want to break up this company, we want to be acquired. The going thought was that Paramount was going to come out on top. Paramount has a ton of money. It's kind of like there was this huge acquisition or merger last year where Paramount aligned themselves with their CEO. What's the fucking guy's name? David Ellison, who's like a nepo baby of like, I think his dad like ran Oracle. He's like a born a billionaire and now he's in the movie business and he's aligned with Trump. There's all this political stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the going thought was that Paramount was going to come out on top, and then it turned out to be Netflix.
Well, they're still trying.
They're
right?
still trying, right? So it's still, it's not a done deal yet. This stuff basically, there's a lot of red tape, and if Netflix came out as the leading bidder, but now Paramount is going to Netflix's stockholders, or not Netflix's stockholders, forgive me, Warner Brothers stockholders, and offering an all cash offer that is better than Netflix's deal. So, and then there's going to be political involvement because of monopolies and all that. It's very, very convoluted and kind of confusing, to be honest.
For sure.
But here's kind of the brief timeline, and I'll just kind of read you through it, and that'll catch us up for the discussion. Late 2024, Warner Brothers Discovery announces a plan to restructure. The streaming and studios were going to be named Warner Brothers, and then they're going to branch off all of their networks: CNN, Discovery, HGTV, etc. And then this year, all the rumors of acquisition started. So in October, Warner Brothers announces, "Hey, we are going to start taking bids." There was 3 suitors. That's what it is. Netflix was one of them. Paramount, and then also Comcast, Universal, which is NBC, and that didn't really pan out. What's interesting here is, and I think where all the talk is happening, is because we know that these streaming platforms, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, have made a huge impact in the film industry already. This discussion of like, windows of time that films play in theaters, direct to streaming, all this has been happening for 7-8 years. It really blew up during the pandemic. You remember Warner Brothers started doing the day and date, like you can watch The Matrix at the theater or at home. Now nobody remembers the 4th Matrix movie even existing. Abby, let just from a perspective as an avid moviegoer who's also been a Netflix subscriber, I know we're all on both sides of this, but just from what is your perspective on the thought of a streaming giant like Netflix owning Warner Brothers, one of the major legacy studios that has ever existed?
Well, I think that my thoughts would have to be if movies are moving away from movie theaters and being directed into streaming services for people to only watch within their homes, I think that's a tragedy, and I think that's very, very. It's I think that culturally, like, we'll be missing a lot if theaters are no longer the special place that they should be, the sanctuary for people who love art and have different opinions and want to see cool shit and hear cool music. Like, it's to think that it's all just going to be sort of like spoon fed, or like almost like smoothie style, like, here's your movies at home, you don't have to go out and do anything. That doesn't sound very interesting. It sounds kind of boring and sad to me. I'd like to think that movie theaters could have like the revival that I really want them to have. I know that being at the Vista Theater, we've talked about, that was really a great crowd, and I wish that could be like every movie theater across the country, but I know that's not realistic. And I know that people are not necessarily willing to part with the amount of money it costs to go see a movie and to buy popcorn. And I know that it's easier to sit in your house and watch stuff, but at that point, I mean, you can't control other people. I know that I would rather go into a movie theater and take in an entire movie where it's like everybody needs to shut the fuck up and let's focus. We're in a room with a giant screen. That's what it's about. And I don't know that everyone at home couldn't recreate that, and I think they might be missing out a little bit if that's something that goes away. So yeah, I'm concerned a little bit, but at the same time, I like to lazily watch Netflix and binge some dumb shit sometimes, like Bridgerton or whatever on there. So it's a two sides of the coin. Like, I get one part of it because of it's easy to be home and watch stuff, and I think everyone should have access to things, but I don't want the respect and the like religious experience of going to a movie theater to disappear.
Yeah, well said.
Mm.
Jacob, what are your thoughts on all this?
Well, I don't want to sound like overly dire or like an extremist or like I'm putting too much.
Hey, I want you to sound like an extremist. Actually, that would be cool.
It feels like we're in real time, just like watching the death of
Yeah.
and and this long running art form that is been around since before we were born. um the movie theater thing, so like kind of what you were saying, Abby, like yeah, I know for some people going to the theater is like a luxury and it can be really expensive, but like there's reasons related to literally what we're talking about that the prices went up, that caused prices to go up for all that stuff. It's really expensive, and movie theaters are really struggling right now, but like part of that is because of shit like Netflix, you know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also, the movie theater is not uh it is not like Netflix's enemy. It's not as if people
Yeah.
who like going to the movie theater don't also have like, yeah, I want to be able to watch stuff at home as well, but that doesn't mean, once a week or twice a week or whatever, or once a month, I don't want to go to the theater and watch. You're coming home and you're putting on Netflix. Like that's not the
Mm-hmm.
problem. Like if there's a Netflix versus, it's not the theater, it's like YouTube. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like we live in a generation where like kids that are growing up now, there are kids alive that had iPhones in their hands like by middle school. Like
Yeah.
people, that's what everybody does now. Like there's screens from the fucking minute you're born. There's a screen in it. Every person I know who's got kids is like, give them a fucking tablet. Like they get tablets. They get
Oh,
tablets at age 3.
you get a tablet in the womb now.
You get it
You
to,
do.
yeah.
A womb
So
tablet.
You get a womb tablet. That's actually true.
some of those people like just watch movies on their phone all day, or like that's how they grew up watching. People don't go to the movies as much, and it's like you said, Abby, it is a tragedy to think like it's going, not that they're going to go away completely, because they'll still be movie theaters around, but the fact that they're just going to die, and we're going to give one of the biggest movie companies to Netflix, who the owner is like, fuck the movie theater, people don't want that, it's old, we don't want movies in the theater anymore. Like that is
Yeah. It's really
insane.
scary because the Paramount option is also uh scary. There's different
It's
reasons,
not
right?
good. It's Dude, it's not good either way, because like it means it first of all, it means less. It means you're gonna have less
Less output,
choice. There's gonna be less output. They're
less
they're not gonna
competition.
There's less competition. There's gonna be less um with multiple movie studios, you have like different kinds of movies. Like maybe this studio is going to put out more artsy movies, or maybe the head of this studio likes more horror films, so they're going to pay for more horror films. Like this company over here might be, but when they all merge into one, whoever's in control of that,
Mm-hmm.
it's their vision,
It's a
and
monopoly.
movies are going to get made less. There's going to be less things you like out
Less
there.
quality for sure.
Like
The quality
back
is
at
gonna, exactly.
sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Just it's similar. It reminds me of when there was only 3 channels. So it's like, having more variety and having other
Yeah.
outlets is like so important. I see your point. And I
Well,
think that
the
it's sorry.
yeah. No, no, Abby, keep going. It's scary. I mean, the Paramount thing is scary for different reasons. One, from a political perspective, the kind of current administration's alignment and relationship through different multiple facets through David Ellison. Um, when we were at the Academy Museum, and there was this really great. I kind of wish, thinking back, that I spent more time in there. There's a room which is about the history of basically the Jews, my people, in Hollywood, and the beginning of all these studios. And it's crazy, like you look at like the movie industry, this entertainment industry that was built in Los Angeles, and all there was 10, 12 major studios, and like over time it's just all consolidated and all condensed. And you know, uh it's getting to the point where it's like there's Sony, Universal, and like MGM and Fox, all that stuff that was bought by Disney, and then like uh, now we are facing Paramount maybe owning Warner Brothers. Well, what is that going to mean? Lots of people are going to lose their jobs. Paramount's going to acquire all of the content, all the intellectual property, and they are going to cut jobs. That's going to be in Hollywood's the entertainment industry is already falling apart, right? Because of AI and things like that. So it's just really scary from and also like the American movie industry is like American made and built off the backs of these people who came over to like basically start this industry. Paramount, like all of they have a lot of like foreign financing through like Saudi Arabia and all this stuff. So now you have international like foreign governments involved in the American entertainment industry. It's just it opens it's a like more and more red flags, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um from the Netflix perspective, God, is that also scary?
Yeah.
It's just scary
Because of
because
censorship. Yeah.
well,
Well,
it
it's also like, the film industry now, like people who are out there making movies and making film who really love it. There's all kinds of people who make movies, and sure, there's movies being made just solely to try to make some money or whatever here and there, but filmmakers are they're artists. You know what I mean? Like these people that are spending all this time of their lives learning how to write and to make a movie just to make
Hmm.
like one story that's like personal art piece, just like, okay, but let's give it to a bunch of tech bros who own Netflix who don't know anything about art,
right.
or just to pump out fucking.
Well, think about it. Think about the prospect of first of all, Netflix and HBO Max are two separate entities. Those would combine. Netflix would now own Harry Potter and DC
DC.
and HBO and uh, just taking on all this IP. Then there's the whole theater thing. The This is one point I've talked about this with my brother this week. I want to get both of your opinions. Do Does it need to evolve to where going to a movie theater is more of an experience and it's actually closer to like going to a Broadway show where the people there genuinely want to be there for the experience? Because
How do
let's
you ensure that?
well, I think some of it falls on the theater industry to a certain a certain
like
extent
a
because
like a base of rules for
well,
moviegoers that
it's
is enforced.
a
I
little
don't
bit of
know.
that, but upkeep of the theaters,
Yeah,
like, hey, if you're paying $25 for a ticket, that better be a screen that is not dim with
yeah.
wrinkles in it, good sound, a
That
clean
is
environment.
it,
Like,
this is a whole this like the issues with the movie theater are a whole other problem, like that
right.
would need some sort of would need like movie theater chains kind of coming together to figure out like, what do we
Yeah.
do, how do we make this a
Well, what
little
I think is
better.
going to happen, and this has already happened. Remember, Sony acquired Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah,
I think we're going to end up seeing these studios owning these theaters, and
sure.
I think This is what if it goes through and it ends up being Netflix. And to be honest, we're not going to know for like a year. This is how it's going to be. Nothing's going to change immediately, but you're going to start seeing smaller theatrical windows, and I think you will eventually see Netflix possibly. I read a report today that Netflix is buying up like old department stores and malls and turning them into like interactive experiences. I think
What does that mean? What do you mean interactive
I
experiences?
don't know, like a Netflix interactive experience at the
Like a
mall.
video store?
Yeah. Or is this like you go to the upside down? Like, what are they
Let
doing?
me look
I,
it up. Let me look it up.
um while you're doing that, like they've already come out and said, like, so if Netflix gets WB, they've come out and said, like, oh, the WB movies are still going to go to the theater, like it's not going to happen right away. But yeah, it's only not going to happen right away because there's years of a schedule already set forth for WB
Yeah.
movies to be
Sure.
released, and those have
And,
to go into theaters because they're just are it's already a contract, it's a done deal. But as soon as
yeah.
that's
And other
done,
movies are planning based on that. Sorry.
exactly,
Continue.
exactly. But as soon as that
Hmm.
is done, I mean, the guy has already come out and said that he thinks movie theaters are overrated, and he thinks the experience is bullshit.
Ted Sarandos.
And
Yeah.
you're hey, like Netflix notoriously, this is a conversation we've had since the beginning of Netflix. Netflix hates physical media. It hates it. It doesn't want it to happen. It only happens on special occasions. You're not getting very much physical media. So goodbye to so much. I don't know.
Before I answer this
Yeah.
question about the Netflix mall, oh no, go for it, Abby.
I was just going to say, to add to that, as collectors of physical media and like memorabilia and ephemera, when I go to a movie, when I go to the Plaza Theater, I like to save a little napkin that they have in the bathroom that says the Plaza Theater. It's like embossed. It's nice. It's like a little keepsake of that experience for me. So it really bums me out to think about losing that
Well,
kind of an opportunity. I see where you're coming from with saying make it like a premium and exclusive thing. And I would be okay with that, but if it's not available for everyone, then that's a bummer.
but the problem is that streaming movies has devalued the experience of going to a movie for an entire
Well,
generation.
it. Yeah, I agree with that, but that's why movies shouldn't go to the theater and streaming immediately. You know what I mean?
Simultaneous.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's definitely going to be like how much is Netflix per month right now? $20, 25? If you don't think if they acquire Warner Brothers that there's not going to be a pay 60 a month and get
Oh,
all the movies.
I guarantee you, we're going to be having a conversation 8 years from now where Netflix is $150 a month because there's this. It's literally going to be, and I've heard other people talking about this on some other shows where they're like they if you don't think they, because like there's a cap on how many subscribers are going to end up on that. You can't just
Right.
keep growing. It's
Yeah.
already, I don't know what the number is, but it's already insane,
Hundreds of
right?
millions. Yeah.
So that number is going to stop. And when that number stops, there's no more money coming in. So they're going to look towards other avenues, other things to do. And if you think they're not going to basically try to turn Netflix into like what cable used to be, where you pay $150 package, but you get the games, you get the TNT and HBO. I know TNT
Yeah.
is gone, but you know what I mean. Like
UVC.
it's going to turn. It's a fucking a circle, and it's
It's a
going to get
pendulum,
back.
right? And I think that's what's going to end up happening with theaters. I think theaters will continue to struggle. It'll be like vinyl records, and then at some point there's going to be a nostalgia for it. First of all, movies are still making, the tentpole movies are still making a lot of money. But if you have the studios owned by streaming services, that is going to completely change the model for which things are distributed. Now, I could not even think about doing this episode any longer until we talk about Netflix House, which is the thing I brought up earlier.
That's what it's called.
It's called Netflix House. Okay. It's
I hate
Netflix
the way
House.
it looks. Okay.
Do you hate that? That has to be AI. That's all like bullshit, right?
Okay.
You're invited. Netflix House, Dallas and Philadelphia and King of Prussia, open for business. You'll know you arrived when you see an oversized red envelope, a throwback to Netflix Origins as a DVD by mail company. It's a free space. Purchase tickets. It's like they have what like I don't know what this is. It's like
What do you do there?
there's like installations.
Oh, it's like, okay, so it's where you go to take pictures for your fucking Instagram, so you can say, "Hey, I don't respect physical media or movies, and I didn't watch
For myself.
I didn't watch it, but here's a picture of me in front of,
The Stop and Go girl from
K-pop Demon
Squid
Hunters
Game.
or whatever." Exactly. I hate. This is so weird.
Let's move past this.
Floor is lava.
Yeah, it's depressing, to be honest.
I mean, we've gotten to a point, like, I mean, society used to, like, movies was a big part, and that a lot of people went to the movies, and it was what you did, and a movie would come out and it would be in a theater for 6 months, sometimes a year, like whatever, a long time. And you just knew that that's how you saw the movie. It came out on VHS, which moved to DVD. Like video stores was a big part of our culture. But I think, it's like the butterfly effect. Like once our phones got more and more advanced and iPhones became a thing, and you can now literally have hundreds of movies in your phone at any time, and attention spans shrink, and people don't care about movie experiences anymore. The kind of respect of going to a theater and like keeping your fucking mouth shut has like gone away, and it's just not a thing anymore. And then like COVID happened and made it even worse, and it's like as one thing gets bigger, it can't,
Well,
it's like
and that's
they
kind of what
can't
I was
live
saying.
together.
But that's what I'm saying.
Compound fracture.
I think the days of the movie megaplex are over. Like the days are numbered for like the AMC 24. I think you're going to have smaller
Yeah, it's going to be
boutique
a bunch of
theaters.
plaza. It's going to be like plaza theater type experiences, which is great because when you go to a theater like that, it's going to be, you're not going to get a bunch of like rowdy, disrespectful people. But the other thing is like somebody's got to keep these theaters up. It gets expensive. These theaters are under like these leases that they can't, like a
Well,
lot
and
of
that,
theaters can't close down because they
right.
owe a lease. So they like, that's why candy is so expensive at a movie theater, because like that's the only way they're making any kind of money.
And that's why I think you're going to end up seeing the studios owning the theaters. And it's which is not a good thing. But like imagine Netflix owns Warner Brothers for 10 years and then Netflix starts buying out old movie theaters to give people, you know, a nostalgic experience of
Yeah.
seeing a movie. Like
Yeah.
it's not good.
It
But I think
sound
if you
it
had
sounds
boutique
so
theaters,
dystopian. This whole conversation is so dystopian.
Yeah.
of course it
I
is.
can feel like the extra caveat of that I can imagine would be like there's only like almost like the exclusivity of like the way Mondo used to do their drops. Like it's like there's 2 days that the movie's in the theater, so we're
Yeah.
going to make sure everyone gets in
What they
there.
did with Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like it was
Well, it
barely
used
a
to be
theater.
that yeah, exactly. That people were chasing movies and they had to keep making the movie theaters bigger and big enough to accommodate them. And now
Right.
it's like they're trying to like, show a little leg on the street.
It's
Like, come on, come see these movies.
it's like
Just one.
what used to be a normal thing, like people, you know, going to a movie on a Friday and seeing whatever the new movie is on a big loud screen and people being quiet, like the experience of that used to be normal. And it's like everybody did it. Like it was just a
Mhm.
thing. Everybody did that. And now it's become like a specialized hobby if
Right.
you like going to the movies, because so many people are just like, I don't care, I want to watch it at home, I want to be able to do this, and I want to be able to
Right. Well, I mean,
pause
when you
my
watch
movie.
Seinfeld, every other episode they're going to the movies. It's like the main plot of
Right.
the show.
But it's like if you're the kind of person who wants to watch a movie like Frankenstein or a big tentpole movie or an Avengers movie or whatever, if you're okay watching that on your TV at home, like whatever, that's fine. But like
Mhm.
Uh, I take movies seriously, and I take the hobby of like going to the films and seeing a movie the way it was meant to be on a loud, big screen with no distractions. I don't want my living room. I don't want it to be in my living room. I want the lights dark. I want the refrigerator away from me so I'm not tempted. I want to be in the
Yeah.
movie, because any break of that, if you get
Yeah.
up and walk out of the room during a movie, that movie's not as effectful as it's supposed to be.
Even when we
Mhm.
saw Kill Bill, when they did the intermission, Jacob, you stood up and you were like, everybody,
Keep
let's
make
just
it.
not do this.
Let's just make him keep going. Yeah, I said that. I said it. It's like, Quentin,
Mhm.
hit it.
Um, I don't think making going to the movies a luxury experience is going to happen. I think it's going to be a curated experience for a specific. It will be for a specific type of goer who wants that experience, similar to seeing a Broadway show, or going to a nice restaurant. Because I do think the days of that just being the part of the fabric of society are are waning. It just it is dystopic. It does suck, and it's already happening. Something like Netflix owning Warner Brothers is only going to expedite it, which is what's
Yeah.
kind of sad and scary about it. So, um,
Cool.
cool, we did it. We solved the movie industry.
We saw. That's the name
Cool.
of this
Sad
episode.
piano. Wah, wah.
But we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Paramount could they could still end up with it. There's like all these regulatory fees built into it. Netflix could.
I mean, there's also talk of the like legality of the whole thing. So
Right.
it's like it does start to feel like a monopoly. And I know a lot of people when Disney, you know, picked up Marvel and Star Wars and started, you know, you had so many people who were like surface level being like, "Oh, is this good?" Or and it's like, "Well,
Right.
no, it's not." And we see why it's
No,
not good because
no,
look
it's
at what
not.
we've gotten from it. But it's just do it again. I've seen people being like, "What if WB decides now? What if they get?" I saw another show talking about this. They were like, "What if WB Netflix gets WB and then they said, you know what? Let's build a theme park because now we own a whole bunch of IP."
Yeah.
So it's like a competing Disney, you know, but Netflix, like that kind of thing could happen at this point. Or if
Oh,
they,
wait, I wouldn't mind that. I want a DC theme park
The crazy thing
owned
is
by
that
Netflix.
Warner Brothers had an amazing year. I mean, they
right,
had Sinners, they had Weapons, they had
it
Superman,
was a
they
lot of
had.
successful movies. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, I understand why a Paramount or another company would want to acquire the studio, but going back to the thing you were saying earlier, Jacob, I mean, how this affects James Gunn, because DC is technically a separate studio from Warner Brothers, but would be included in this
Yeah.
purchase. And hey, Zack Snyder's got a pretty good relationship with Netflix. God, if the Snyderverse, if all this results
Just
in the
comes back
Snyderverse being
again.
back, yeah. Abby looks so bummed just joking
I
about
don't
that.
want a grayscale theme park. I want
You're
a
only
big, bright.
you can go to the Snyderverse theme park, but you're only
Yeah.
allowed to wear black and gray clothing.
It's true.
Yeah.
Justice is gray. Never forget that.
Yeah.
And the Joker is Jesus. I can't deal with that. Yeah, I don't want that. I love Six Flags and I love the Batman and the Mindbender coaster there. So it would be neat to see a DC park flushed out. But I don't know. Netflix doesn't have a track record for doing theme parks, so we'll see.
Well, Netflix, that is the biggest thing, is that Netflix's track record on original content is okay with TV, not great for movies, and it leaves a weird like.
Well,
I
there's
want.
not to get the sorry to cut you off, Craig, and
No, you're good.
not to get the conversation going again. I know we're kind of winded down, but it's also like when you watch Netflix movies compared to, you know, like a movie, a big budget movie, put in a, you know, done at a studio and put out there. It's like you can tell, you know what I mean? Like you can tell what a net between like how a Netflix movie looks and a Warner Brothers movie looks, but it's like, oh, is everything just going to look like, is Warner Brothers going to get sucked into Netflix? And now like the budgets are different, where we're filming these is the look is different. Is that all?
Everything looks like
Is that
Happy
gonna?
Gilmore too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is everything going to start looking like Netflix productions, or is it still going to have its own, you know, quality? I don't know. It's just I don't know what to think.
Yeah, diversity is so important. To have it all homogenized is just that's the antithesis of like what art is. So it's very disconcerting.
I don't want everything to look like Hubie Halloween or like even that fucking movie the Russos did for Netflix. That was so bad. That Electric State movie.
Yeah,
Did
I
you guys
never
see?
even
Did you
saw
guys
it.
watch that?
Mm.
I wish I wouldn't have.
Yeah, wish you could unsee it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at, so real quick, so you've got Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers, Sony, and Paramount are like the big five, and you used to have Fox, RKO, United Artists, MGM, in like 20th century, like all of them. Like this has been happening for years. It's all being consolidated. I mean, I know we poke fun at our at Sony from time to time, being the Ghostbusters fans that we are, but at least Sony, like, you get the vibe that they are interested in making
Mm-hmm.
movies. I mean, we've gotten a chance to go to the Sony lot and spend some time there, and like, you do feel like the magic of movie making
Yeah,
still.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Sony's they're still gonna have IP and franchise, and god damn it, they're putting out 4 Beatles movies. I can't wait. This is gonna be so fun for all 4 of us to go, or all 3 of us to go see all the Beatles movies.
Okay, so there's Dung Beetle. There's what I don't know. What are the other 3?
We
These are Beatles with an A.
yeah.
Part of the dream.
Jacob,
I had to
like,
watch.
I thought they weren't making a third Beetlejuice.
that's
You say
Warner
their name
Brothers.
4 times, the Beatles show up.
Yeah, if you say Beatles 4 times, they shut the hey there, mate. How are you?
Wait,
Mhm.
are they gonna make these movies and then have after credit scenes where like the next Beatle shows up in the after credits of the
Yep.
last Beatles movie?
That's
Danny, you guys didn't know? New Beetle.
ah.
New Beetle revealed.
There's a new Beatle. Bucky, it's the Winter Soldier. He's back again. I don't know, man. Listen, we're just consumers of this stuff. None of
Yeah.
us are, experts in business analysis, but we are consumers of film, and we go to the movies and we buy movies on DVD. We also all have streaming services. Like, it's not like it would be hypocritical to be like, none of us are canceling Netflix tonight. So,
Mhm.
I don't
it's
pay
just,
for Netflix, honestly.
yeah, well, they're going to be cutting down on that too.
I'm
And
on,
also, like,
I'm on my mommy's account.
You're borrowing?
well, I get confused now
That's the way
because
to do it.
Hulu is now inside of Disney Plus. So HBO is going to go inside of Netflix. It's just it's all confusing.
Yeah.
It's all becoming one thing. Cable.
Yeah.
Dude, what if Redbox came back? We want to buy a studio.
Everything is cyclical. Yeah. It will all. Mm-hmm.
Abby, anything else? It's a good discussion tonight. I like this.
Nah, just excited to continue collecting tapes because I like buying physical media and watching new movies. Like I said, I want to watch some of the movies that are on my watch list on Letterboxd because I got in and was really active on that at the beginning of this past year and sort of fallen off. So I'm ready to like start tackling movies. That gives me such a feeling of accomplishment. So yes, it's like a necessary evil to have them all available. That was the beauty of Netflix in the beginning, was that you had access to a vault and a collection. And back in the day, you really only had what was at Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or possibly what was available online. So there would be things that you would be chasing and movies that you'd completely forgotten about. So Netflix was wonderful in the beginning because it was access. But now that it's become everything, it's kind of stifling.
Yeah.
It's definitely a weird time. And it's also weird too because I feel like there's some great movies coming out. And like, I think maybe, even though we talked about superhero fatigue and stuff, which has been a constant topic for us, there's great movies that came out this year. There's great stuff being made, great genre movies, good horror, good dramas, not really great comedies. I'm waiting for that to make a comeback at some point, but
Yeah.
um
I haven't really seen a really funny movie, I don't think, in a while.
I mean, I think a comedy and a horror, like, those are movies that are great when you're in a good theater. Like, some of my
Dude, a big comedy movie where everyone's connecting, that's like something special. I
dude,
love when that happens.
my big one, Something About Mary and Jackass 2. Dude, the theater for Jackass 2, I thought it was going to be a riot. Like, people were falling out of their seats. It was the greatest night of my life.
Mhm.
I was like, "Bow, now, now." Anyways, Jacob, any other final thoughts?
No, it's just like we'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens. It's a bummer because it feels like we're just watching the downfall of one of our favorite hobbies in real time. But I watch The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, and he was on Friday night. But I'm sitting here like thinking, is 5 years from now it's going to be called like The Last Movie Theater with Joe, because it's like drive-ins, where that like movie
That's
theaters are right behind it.
I
You know
mean,
what
it's always been an evolution. The way the studios used to work is that they would sign an actor and you would be exclusive to that studio, and
Yeah.
like that went away, and then drive like there's always this evolution, but we are in this technological like I don't know. It feels like we're all on like super high speed walkways and we're all just running to catch up with each other, and it's fucking scary. And I still haven't seen One Battle After Another, so maybe I'll watch
Me
that
either.
tonight.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What are we doing? All right.
Let's go see a movie. Bye, y'all. We love you.
Yeah.
Abigail, Jacob, thank you. See everybody. Stay tuned for some really cool content drops from YHS this week, including I don't know if I should spoil it because I don't know when you're going to see this, but we have some awesome videos coming up this week on the channel. For Jacob Walsh and Abigail Gardner, my name is Craig Goldberg. Thank you so much for being here. Go see a movie. Go buy a movie. Get into your Criterion closet and just pick around.
Roll around on the
sale going
ground
right
on
now.
your VHS. Sorry.
Yeah, Criterion's got a sale. What'd you say, Abby? Roll around on the ground with your tapes?
Yeah, like Scrooge McDuck. Just like dive into your VHS tapes. That's what I'm about to do.
It's going to be cool. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I? Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.